Tell me what you think about Marcus. Tell me what you think about Christ. Made their sacrifice now. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all, everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation, all our but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one.
I worked at the Bastille police station, beat and patrol, for about 1 year prior to my initial training. And then I went to training school and completed my initial training in 1992. On completion of that course, I was named the best recruit and was awarded the Baton of Honor. I then went back to Bastille on the beat and worked there for another year before I was transferred to the traffic department, where most of my policing career was spent. I worked my way from being a patrol officer to accident investigator, then promoted to supervisor, then to prosecutor. I was the traffic prosecutor for quite some time. And then eventually became the head of the department. I would have worked both in St. Kitts and Nevis. I had a stint in Nevis as well. During this time, however, though, I had quite an extensive amount of training, both locally, regionally, internationally, in areas such as leadership, supervisory management, event security management, traffic management. I would have done a course in Jamaica there. I've also done explosive incident countermeasures, so I had a wide range of training. I've also had a stint at the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia, where I studied quite a number of areas, including leadership and management. Academically, I have a postgraduate diploma in security administration from the University of the West Indies, and I also have a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Information Systems from Emmanuel College. So I think that I've had a long range and broad history and experience in the organization to date.
Oh, that's quite a bit to take in. That's quite a bit. That's a lot of experience and knowledge there. And I noted you said in 1992.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's when you were in high school.
Oh gosh. So we have been without a deputy commissioner of police for quite some time. Mm-hmm. From your vantage point, how do you think this has impacted or affected the organization?
Well, there's a saying that says the deputy is essential, and the structure of the organization requires a deputy commissioner of police. During the period that this position was not filled, it meant that the commissioner of police's workload would have been significantly increased, because he would have had to carry the load of the deputy, and in some cases maybe delegate it down to the assistants. So both entities' workload would have increased. The assistants, when the commissioner delegate the deputy's work to them, and the commissioner himself when he has to do the deputy's role. And so, of course, this would result in inefficiencies in the overall management of the organization. So the organization would have suffered in terms of its efficiency with the absence of the deputy commissioner, due to the increased workload that the commissioner would have had to carry, and he would have also had to delegate down to other ranks, would have had to do it.
Okay, well, I'm inclined to agree with you there, and perhaps we'll touch on that aspect sometime later. But to dig right into it, for the listening audience, what are the roles and responsibilities of the Deputy Commissioner of Police? And having answered that, can you tell us what departments in particular will fall under your command?
Well, let me deal with the easier part first. The departments, the training school. The Deputy Commissioner is responsible for training in the organization, and so the training school falls directly under the Deputy Commissioner's responsibility. He's also responsible for disciplining the organization, and so the professional standards unit would fall under his area of responsibility. Responsible for community policing and media relations, and so those areas would fall under the responsibility of the Deputy Commissioner. But some of the functions, more specifically, Deputy Commissioner is responsible for developing and implementing policies and procedures for the police force, of course in collaboration with the Commissioner of Police and the other senior leadership that we call the High Command. So the Deputy is responsible for leading that charge in the development and the implementation of policies and procedures. He's also responsible for enforcing and ensuring that the police force operates in compliance with the relevant laws, regulations and policies. So once we would have established these policies, of course we have a set of laws that govern our conduct, then responsible for ensuring that the force operate within these parameters. Responsible for developing and maintaining positive relationships with other law enforcement agencies. We have other law enforcement agencies in the Federation. We have immigration, customs, Defense Force, not a law enforcement, but it's a security agency. And so we are responsible for establishing and maintaining relationships with these agencies, other government departments, and community organizations. He's also, of course, would serve as the acting commissioner in the absence of the commissioner for extended periods. So the deputy commissioner would fill that role as commissioner, and the commissioner is away for extended periods. And of course represent the police force in meetings with the media, community organizations, and other stakeholders, and whatever other duty the commissioner assigns to him.
Well, you have stated quite a lot, and so that is why I agree with you that the lack thereof for some time would have had an adverse effect on the organization, because that is a lot of workload, and to have no one there to fill it, will have some effect. So, how do you intend in this new role that you have to improve upon or building those respective areas?
Well, as I said, I'm part of a high command, so it's a team. The commissioner has outlined his 7 pillars on which he intends to advance the organization, and among them, community policing, training, and the use of technology are prominent. Of course, training and community policing, these falls directly within my areas of responsibility. However, technology falls within my area of expertise and my passion. And so therefore I will seek to have the organization invest in technology and infrastructure to improve efficiency. I think if we are able to be more efficient, we will get better results, and we would get trust and confidence of the public, which would, of course, improve our community relations. So I intend to have the force invest in technology and infrastructure to improve efficiency and effectiveness. And this would include upgrading communication systems or information systems and providing officers with better and more modern equipment to discharge their duty. We would also seek to, of course, working in conjunction with the other senior leadership, develop and implement comprehensive training programs for officers aimed at improving their skills and their knowledge and professionalism. I think that a knowledgeable police officer would be a more efficient police officer. He'll be more effective. And I see that is one of our weaknesses, knowledge. And so if we are able to improve our training programs, and ensure that officers are given the necessary tools to discharge their duty, we should see a better functioning organization. We'd also work towards building positive relations with the community, and this would include developing community policing initiatives, public outreach programs, geared, of course, towards developing trust and transparency in our doings.
Okay. So it has been, let's say, over a month now since you have taken up this new role. Mm-hmm. How has your experience been thus far? And is it what you expected?
Yes, because I always said to my junior officers, always try to work at the level above your level, so that when you get to that level, it becomes easier. And so while I was a superintendent, I was doing the work of the rank above me. I do not shy away for work. And so because there was no deputy, the commissioner then, in delegating some of the functions, some of it would have gotten down to me. And so I was very active in assisting the commissioner in discharging some of the deputy's responsibility. And so I do not find it beyond me at this point. Of course, I'm certain that it's going to get more challenging, but I think I'm prepared to face those challenges. So at this point, I'm able to cope, I'm able to handle the position, and so without any issues.
Now, you spoke to something very dear to me, which is training. And so, as an instructor, I feel I'm duty-bound to ask this question. How do you, as the newly installed Deputy Commissioner of Police, how are you going to improve upon the training product? And not just initial basic training, but overall within the organization?
Well, as I said before, we have to develop and implement a comprehensive training program across all levels, and that has started. Presently, there is a training course for 1 week that is ongoing for our senior leaders, our senior managers, the inspectors, the superintendents, and that course is leadership centered. So that is one aspect of that. Then next week there is another training course for the other ranks, sergeants, corporals, and community policing, because again, community policing is one of the pillars that the commissioner has identified as means to move the force forward. Because if we have the trust of the public, we'll get their assistance, and we cannot do our work without their assistance. And so developing programs, training programs for all levels in the organization would improve our overall effectiveness and efficiency. So beyond training school, we would see training being continuous for all levels. So we will have training that is specific to the corporal rank, to the constable rank, to the sergeant rank, to the inspectors, and go right up to the top. So training, continuous training, would have to be one of the pillars going forward.
So if I'm to make sure that I understand you clearly, you are indicating that it's no longer going to be a case where training school is on, initial training is done, and it's shut down for a period until it's time for a next batch, which is maybe a year from now, one of the cases.
Exactly.
We're going to have continuous training to continue to build the organization.
Right.
I am happy
because those
to hear
persons
that.
who would have leave the training school maybe 5 years ago, I think 5 years later is time for them to go back and have some refresher, learn the new trends, and because there will be much changes since they would have left, and so they need to be up to date with those changes in the law, in procedures, policies, and so persons need to be kept abreast with the movement, the dynamism of the organization.
I'm very happy to hear that and trust that I will hold you to that. I think now would be an appropriate time for us to take a short commercial break and hear from our sponsors.
NHC is helping you to pay less in 2023. Having difficulties keeping up to date with your mortgage? Make an appointment to speak with your account manager today and learn how you can pay less. Our refinancing program will give you the opportunity to pay as low as $300 a month. Call us 466-4701 or visit our office at East Park Range. Pay less, worry less with NHC refinancing program that's designed with you in mind. Offer valid from February 1st to June 30th.
Don't worry, be happy.
The specials at Domino's are hot, hot, hot for any occasion. Hot right out of the oven. 1 medium, 2 topping pizza, and 2 20-ounce Cokes, only $35. Free Coke with your lunch until 2 p.m. Small, 1 topping school child lunch special, only $14. 2 medium, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $69. 2 large, 2 topping pizzas, and a 2-liter soda, only $92. Oh, and the big one, baby. Free large pizza every Tuesday with your favorite 2 for Tuesday special. So, come on down or call and order now and experience our tasty oven-baked goodness. Domino's, the home of satisfaction.
Hot and wild, call Domino's now.
A message from Dr. Kelea Cannonier.
I saw a mother who asked, should I get my little boy immunized? I told her yes. St. Kitts and Nevis has had an impressive childhood immunization history. Our borders are open to all kinds of childhood diseases. Today, you have a choice whether your child gets vaccinated. Use it wisely.
Check your doctor or the Ministry of Health to get the information on immunization against childhood diseases, including HPV and polio, and COVID-19 vaccine for elderly persons and persons living with non-communicable diseases.
I want to be protected.
This is a message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO in partnership with the governments of Canada and Germany.
Welcome back, welcome back. We are here on another edition of Policing with You. And for those who may just be tuning in, with me is Deputy Commissioner of Police, Mr. Cromwell Henry, and we are having a discussion on his role as a Deputy Commissioner of Police. If we are to get right back into it, do we have a call? Yes, please. Hello,
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, please, good
morning.
morning.
Police GQ.
Good morning, Culture.
I was calling you, but you won't answer anyway. And good morning, Commissioner of Police, Mr. Henry.
Morning.
And the other one here, I don't remember the name, but anyway, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's long time I say you're supposed to be Commissioner of Police.
Well, a deputy right now.
I don't like the word.
It's essential though.
Okay. My question is this. I have a question for you and a suggestion. When I used to go inside the big police station, I used to go up by the canteen because I had a brother working in there. I used to go there to buy. And one time I asked him, why the clock in the police station have to have a burglar bar around it? He said, well, no, what do you call it, what Booby say? Trust no man. Okay, and then interpret what that mean. Well, that mean, well then, it ain't nobody from outside going to go in there to take off the clock. It got to be somebody who working in the police station will take off the clock and go with it. So, some police are not trustworthy. That's why people don't really give them information when they should. Because they know well then that, okay, they give the police the information, but then when you look, they become victim of the culprits. So that is one. And then now my suggestion is that there is an accident that happened in Nevis in the seawater with a boat and a person. What I think, no boat with propeller should be in any beach close to the beach where people are swimming. Once you have a propeller, don't go in there. And those who are diving, whether conchs or snorkeling, they should have a red flag with a white stripe from point to point on a buoy, so that any boat passing and they see that, they will know that people are diving in the water. That's my suggestion for all people who believe they could go in with people bathing with boat and propeller out. See the man, the captain say he only feel something put under the boat. And when he look, the man, they're bawling for help. But that mean he got to be the boat went in where the man is, because the man ain't going to swim go out where the boat is. So that's my suggestion for all who run in boat, don't go in the beach with people bathing. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you, caller, for that call.
Thank you. Do you have another caller, Chicken? Okay, well, Culture, I think that matter with the boat accident is under investigation, and so the police would look at all the circumstances, all the evidence that is available, and come to a conclusion as to what happened. So we'll not get into that at this point. In terms of giving the police information and trust, we are trying to build that trust. We're trying to gain the confidence of the public so that you feel comfortable in speaking to the police. But I would not sit here and pretend that we are all saints. Of course, we are human beings, and there would be some I don't want to use the word bad eggs, but there will be some persons among us who do not live up to the ideals of the organization. But if you have doubts, I'm certain that there must be someone within the organization who you can trust. If you can't just walk up to any police and give information because you have trust issues, identify someone who you know and provide that information. Do not keep the information to yourself because you don't trust the police. Look for somebody who you trust and give them the information so that we could get it. Because it's no help to you if you keep it to yourself. It's no help to us if you keep it to yourself. So find some way of getting the information to us despite how you may feel about the police. You have another caller.
Yes, please. Hello, you're live. Go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Not too bad at all. And yourself?
I'm great. I'm alive and I'm giving thanks for that. Good morning, Deputy Commissioner Cromwell Henry.
Good morning, Mr. Wilshire.
Yes, I want to congratulate you.
Thank
you publicly. And I must say, listening to your bio, you have a wealth of knowledge. And that only can take the force in a higher place with you being in that position. One thing I like that you said was always high for the next position above, so when you get there, it's not difficult.
Right.
And we all can attest, even during the COVID, you're the main person. And I guess that would have helped you now that you're in this position, so it come like cheese for you, because you're already doing all these meetings, doing all these communication to the general public, so it's nothing new to you. And you have that kind of personality. You get on well with people. So I just want to wish you and the commissioner and the entire force all the best going forward. But I'm really happy for you in this position, and I just want to wish you all the best going forward. And I know with you in that position, things are going to change, and as you rightly said, training and those things, you're going to make sure these things come through. So all the best to the entire force. And from an immigration perspective, we have a very good relationship. So I expect the relationship even to get better, and we can just go from string to string. And it's at the end of the day, it's for the betterment of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you all, gentlemen. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
The next caller. Hello, good morning. You are live.
Hello.
Good morning.
Sergeant. I'm calling from the United States.
Yes, please.
And I admire Deputy Commissioner Cromwell when he was on the COVID team I always know that he would progress to that. I'm going to make a comment to him about being trained at the FBI headquarters in Quantico, Virginia, because I've been there. One of my cousins was stationed there. That's the headquarters of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
I want to ask him, is his training comparable to Scotland Yard in England? Because we have a myth about Scotland Yard compared to the FBI in the United States. And since I've been living in the United States, I know how tremendous important the FBI are. So I wanted to elaborate on the FBI training for the people of St. Kitts, because they have a very poor admiration for the United States FBI, because they don't have a clue. So if you could ask him to elaborate on his training in Quantico, Virginia, because I've been there. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. The caller is asking for you to expound a bit on some of your training with the FBI.
Well, I would not be able to go into everything that I did there, but just to say that I covered a wide scope. Part of it though was leadership, investigations, and of course some other areas that I would not want to get into. But in comparing to Scotland Yard, I think the FBI is the equivalent to Scotland Yard in England. They are the main investigative units in those countries, and so they are the cream of the crop in terms of investigation in their respective countries, in England and in the US. But in terms of my what I did at the FBI Academy, I would not get into all of it.
Yes, please. Do we have another caller? Good morning. You are live. Go right ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Professor Henry.
Yes, sir.
You know who's speaking?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned your little stint you had at the sugar factory. You didn't do that.
Well, that helped prepare me for my role as a police.
So you remember the rapport we used to have?
Yes,
and my
yes.
encouragement to you?
Yes.
And we always talk about you when we meet up anyway. We're not going into details.
No.
But, you know, I am not surprised of the level that you have arrived at this time. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised at all. Because you know I know you and you know me.
Yes.
And I am always supportive of you. I have a lot of respect and regard for you too. And you're one of the people who, let me say in the force, who uses the English language very well. Very well. And I'm glad for that. And when you, during your performance during the COVID, I used to feel good, feel reassured, because the way you handle the situation, you just know what you were doing. So, I want to congratulate. I did congratulate you already, I believe.
Yes, yes,
I want to do it again personally. I haven't seen you for a while, personally, but when I get a chance, I'm going to come look for you.
I got to come look for you too.
You're well okay. And yes. I mean, you can find me easy to come my way.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want you all to hear me congratulating you. I know you, and I know that as I said, I am supportive of you. Whatever you achieve is not a surprise to me, because I know that you would have had the ability. I believe that was your calling. Some of us are not fortunate, because many of us were suppressed by institutions. But I am glad to hear you say that training should be an ongoing, continuous training.
Yes.
At whatever level. I really believe, because the whole thing is about management, you know. Management, I mean, and you expect, when you're in the force, you're going to be moving up. It's an organization of rank.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, training is so essential. I believe that some aspect of the force should set up just for training. Training should never stop. Anyway, I can't go on no more because it will take up too much time. But my good friend, you enjoy the rest of the day and continue to exercise your good judgment. As I said, no surprise. Have a good day, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, caller. You have a next caller? Okay, nice. So let's go into the next question then, Mr. Henry. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that anything comes without its challenges. what do you anticipate will be some of your challenges? And what methods would you employ to mitigate against them?
Well, you're right. I mean, there would always be challenges. I anticipate that main challenge, based on my focus, I mentioned training and technology. One of the challenges would be, apart from people's resistance to change, would be funding. Because these are expensive areas. These are areas that require financing. One way that I intend to get over this hurdle is through proper budgeting and planning, and using an iterative approach. Those persons who are into software would know what the iterative approach is. My personal experience with that, using that approach, is that you'll get more done over time. So, for example, and I'm going to give you a practical example. Over the years, the information system that we have in the force, I'm responsible for most of them, and we would have spent close to $100,000 US in software development. Now, had I gone to my finance officer and said that I need $100,000 to develop software, I'm almost certain that I would not get it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did, I developed the software in modules. That is the iterative approach. You do one module that might cost $10,000 this year, and you make sure that it's working, you achieve whatever objective that you have for it, and then next year you add another module that might cost $15,000, and you would get that $15,000 approved, and then the next year another $10,000, and the next year $20,000. So over time, you end up spending $100,000
yes.
for something that you needed. So taking it in small bits and pieces, over time you would get the whole. And so I tend to use that approach. So rather than asking for $50,000 to do a training course, you might ask for $5,000, and you break down the training courses in small components until you achieve your objective over time, getting the complete thing. So using that iterative approach, budgeting and planning, that would help to mitigate the challenge of funding.
Now, you mentioned that one of the challenges you anticipate is resistance to change.
Yes.
And I think you're more speaking within the organization itself.
Right.
Can you expound a bit on that?
Well, persons, when they become comfortable in their zone, you call that the comfort zone, and you try to put them in another zone that they're not familiar with, that they're not comfortable with, they're going to resist. They're not going to be willingly want to go to the next level. And so you would have to convince them that it is in their best interest to move. You would have to coerce them, you would have to use other methods to get persons to move from where they are to the next level. So getting people to move from their comfort zone to go into an unknown, you got to help them get over their fears of the unknown and be willing to move. So you're going to take some coercing and some other methods to get them to move to that next level. So that in itself would be a challenge, because that would take time.
And from your experience and the years within the organization, do you believe that it is going to be a case where you have a number of persons who will say, you know, when I joined the organization, I did not meet this. It was more writing paper. My application form did not say I need to have these technological skills. How am I going to now function effectively utilizing these capabilities? You believe that's going to be a challenge within the organization?
Well, I think we are getting over that now, because as I said, I've been a big part of changing the culture of getting the force more in the digital mode. I think we are getting over that hurdle, getting people to move away from the paper and be comfortable in a digital environment. We are getting over that. We just need to build on that. Persons have to see the benefit of moving with the technology. You'll be left behind, because the criminals are using technology. I don't think there's any criminal who do not have a cell phone or a computer, and they're using it to their advantage. And so you must be able to keep up with them. Otherwise, you'll not be able to detect solve the crimes. And so we have to convince persons that they need to move away from what they're accustomed to. I'll give you an example. And of course, they must see the benefit of using the technology. Going back to my traffic experience, a few years ago, the traffic department used to administer the written tests, the road written tests, the driver's written tests, manually by paper. You sit down in the classroom, they will give you a paper, 2 papers, one with the question and one with the answer. You circle the correct answer, and then you take up the paper and somebody go and mark it. That was time consuming, and persons used to make mistakes. So person might get a question right and you mark it wrong because you're trying to hurriedly complete the marking. What we have now, we have an electronic online system where the test is done electronically using a device, whether a laptop or tablet, and we are able to do complete twice as many tests in half the time that we used to do. So we used to do 50 students in 6 hours. We can now do 100 students in 3 hours, and we have been doing that just using that electronic system. So you have greater efficiencies in using technology, and there are a lot of other areas in our work that we could be more efficient just by using a digital solution.
Now, you spoke about training and some persons not being too comfortable with change, and I take it that you meant within the department that they're working in.
Yeah.
Do you think that more needs to be done perhaps from an initial training perspective or even thereafter to have a balance in terms of cross training and or experience, so that you have a complete officer who is competent in most of the respective departments, as opposed to just moving straight into specializing in one particular area? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, I believe that the officers should be exposed to a number of areas before you put him on a specialized track. That way, he would be able, even in his specialization, he still will be able to relate to what the other people, the other departments do, and have a better appreciation. That would help him even in his whatever area he specializes in, because every area of policing impacts other areas. And so, yeah, I believe that a person should be exposed to as much aspects of policing as possible before you put him on a specialized track.
Now, we do have a case where we have a caller. Yes, please, go ahead, you're live.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Sergeant Boom.
Yes, please, good morning.
And Comrel.
Yes, morning, sir.
Deputy Commissioner. My course mate, it is 300. Don't remember the number?
What the number was?
300.
300.
100.
Oh, okay, yes, Clarence. Gotcha.
I just call him to openly and officially congratulate you on your promotion and advancement.
Thank you.
You know what I mean, what Course 24 was.
Yes. In fact, we have 3 persons from that course in the High Command right now.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who would have left the fort and left in high position at other organizations, at Coast Guard, Fire.
Yes. He was Casper.
All right. All the best.
All right, man. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, caller. Do we have another call? Yes, and I do take note that most of the calls that we are getting is really in commendation, and it's showing a vote of confidence. And so that demonstrates that, the public has confidence in you. And I believe with your experience within the police force as well, that a number of persons whom you would have supervised already would have some confidence in your ability as well.
Yes.
So if we are to get back into the questions. Now, we have another caller. Hello, good morning, you're live.
Yeah, good morning, Deputy Henry.
Yes, good morning.
This is another course mate. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
I just want to personally congratulate you on your advancement, but I have a question for you. I'm not sure if I if I'm going off on a tangent here. Over the past year or so, we have seen an increase in the motorcycle population in St. Kitts.
Yes.
What is the police force doing as it relates to the safety aspect of it? 90% of them don't wear helmets. As far as I'm aware from being a police officer, I know it's an offense. What is the force doing at least? I'll listen after you.
Thank you for that, caller.
Well, like anything else, we enforce the law whenever there are occasion to do it. You could appreciate the flexibility and ease in which motorcycles can maneuver, and sometimes when you attempt to stop a motorcycle, it doesn't stop, it maneuvers its way, and we have learned a lesson in the past, so we try not to set chase after motorcycles because those usually do not end well. We've had an experience where an officer chased a person on a motorcycle and it ended in the death of the motorcyclist. An unfortunate death, and it's not something that we would want to see repeated, and so we tend to be very restrained whenever we are dealing with motorcyclists who are trying to escape our stops. If we can identify them, we would deal with them afterward. But yes, we recognize that the motorcycle population has increased. We have a certain company who is promoting the sale of motorcycles. It's an alternative to cars. We know gas is expensive, but persons really do not take their own safety too serious, and a lot of the cyclists, they ride recklessly, they ride without helmets, and we really would want persons to take their own safety more seriously and to drive within the ambits of the law and to keep safety at the top of your head whenever you're using these vehicles. But yes, we do enforce whenever we have occasion to, and we'll continue to educate persons on their use of the road, safe use of the road.
We have another caller? Okay. If I'm to touch on the motorcycle aspect, it was not too long ago, perhaps maybe about almost a month ago, we were conducting a vehicle checkpoint over in the Keon area, and there was a line of vehicles, coming up, and a motorcycle came up with a lady at the back, no helmet, no nothing. We attempted to stop the motorcycle, and he decided to turn around. In doing so, the lady almost fell off of the bike. And we decided not to set chase, and someone asked, but why not? I said, if we set chase, what's going to happen to the poor lady at the back?
She might fall off while he's going to work on her.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, please. We have another caller. Hello, good morning. You're live?
Hello, I'm calling back from the United States. Deputy Commissioner Cromwell,
yes,
I'd like you to elaborate a little more to the people of St. Kitts. How much the United States and law enforcement mean to the Caribbean, because they have a very poor knowledge about what the United States do for the Caribbean. And I live in America over 50 years, and I know the tremendous things that United States contribute to the Caribbean. So just give me a little more elaboration on how important the United States is to overall law enforcement in the Caribbean. Thank you, sir.
Well, yes, the U.S. is a very important partner to security in the region, and to St. Kitts specifically. I think I just very shortly we will soon be seeing the handing over of a motor vessel for the Coast Guard from the U.S. to our Coast Guard that would aid in our maritime security. They sponsor a lot of our training. My own training at the FBI was sponsored by the U.S. And so yes, they do partner with our law enforcement locally. Whenever we need assistance in any investigation, we have a mutual assistance treaty with the U.S. so that we could use that avenue to get assistance from law enforcement in the U.S. But besides that, they provide equipment, training, and other resources that we need. So yes, the U.S. is an important partner to law enforcement and in St. Kitts specifically, but to the region generally.
Okay. Do we have another caller? Okay, well, we are almost out of time. And so, let me ask you one final question before I give you an opportunity to wrap up. What would you say to anyone within the organization, or even someone like myself who is aspiring to rise to the top? What advice would you give to such a person?
Well, first you must know where you want to go. You must set clear goals, and you just say that you're aspiring to the top. So that is an important first step. You must set goals and be clear about what you want to achieve, and then you work towards achieving those goals. You must be passionate and persistent. Pursue your goals with passion and persistence. Do not be distracted by persons who may criticize you while you're always working so hard, while you're playing, you're looking stripes. I mean, do not be deterred by those type of comments. Be willing to go the extra mile, and do not do it because you're going to be rewarded. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because you're going to benefit in terms of your own development. And as I say, be prepared to put in extra hours, long hours that is necessary for you to succeed. Remember that success do not come overnight. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes perseverance to achieve. So you have to work towards it. Build strong networks. Network with others in your field. If you like technology, network with other persons who are like minded. If you like weapons, network with persons who are like minded. Build meaningful relationships. You would learn from their experience. You would learn some things that they know that you were not aware of. Continuously improve your own personal skills. Take advantage of training opportunities, even if it is at your own expense. So do not wait until the force offer you a course to be trained. If the course is not providing you training, and you could find training, to go that route. Do not look at what it costs, because you're going to benefit from it in the long run. So continuously learn and improve yourself, and keep up to date with the latest trends in whatever area that you endeavor to aspire to. Be adaptable and embrace change. I spoke about persons who are comfortable in their zones and not willing to change. Be adaptable, and whatever necessary change you need to make to whatever situation you're in, be willing to make that change. Be flexible, be open-minded, and be willing to take risks. Calculated risks. And learn from your failures. So if you take a risk and you didn't work out, do not stop there. Learn from your failure and move on. So you must be willing to take risks. So these are the areas that I think that you need to focus on. Set goals, be passionate and be persistent, build strong networks, continuously improve yourself, be adaptable and embrace change. Remember that success is not a journey, it's a destination. And you must push yourself and learn, grow to achieve your goals, and enjoy the journey along the way.
Thank you for that. I believe that is sound advice, very sound advice, and I will give you an opportunity to wrap up and say whatever you need to say.
Well, again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to really, I hope that my presentation here this morning would have been inspiration to somebody, either internally or outside the organization. And I really trust and hope that persons aspire to be the best that they could be.
Well, thank you for being here today, and I can say that your presentation was very good, and it leaves one to contemplate. When you spoke of your background, what you would have done and achieved, and how you spoke of being consistent and operating a level above, I believe that would cause anyone to want to emulate such a practice, right? Because we can now see that you would have reaped the rewards in terms of your elevation. And so I do believe that your presentation was very fruitful this morning. And I do want to thank everyone for tuning in to this another edition of Policing with You. I have been your host, Sergeant Daryl Boone. See you again next time.
Let us unite as one. Let us unite as one.
Each day, we see how unpredictable life can be. So let Nagico Insurances help you prepare and safeguard what matters most. We provide solid coverage you can depend on, like life insurance to provide financial security for those you love, medical that covers dental, vision, and preventative care, and auto insurance with comprehensive coverage so you